Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, one.
Okay, welcome to Jamaica. I'm a bit of a historian, so when you say recent developments, I have to give a background first. Prior to the pandemic, is in Jamaica, the features Jamaica efforts to recover from the pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, Jamaica's economy has been making steady progress. We had hit a fiscal deficit of 11% of, we had turned a fiscal deficit of 11% of GDP in 2009, a 1% surplus by 2019. Public debt had gone up from 140% of GDP to 94%. This has resulted in a sharp decline in interest rates and a noticeable increase in business activity. So there was a noticeable investment in infrastructure with massive roadworks across Kingston, along the north coast, and there's a general atmosphere of economic, not necessarily well-being, but we were going somewhere. The small and medium and micro business enterprises had benefited from the favorable environment. At the same time, there was a continuing expansion of the business processing outsourcing industry, with new call centers going up, and the unemployment rate was steadily falling among the 18 to 35 age group, because, as you know, is a very critical thing in an economy like Jamaica's. Sadly, this positive mood was cut short in early 2020 when the corona pandemic burst upon the nation. The pandemic took a massive toll on the social and economic life of the country, as large segments of the tourism, entertainment and retail sectors were adversely affected by the necessary pandemic protocols which were put in place. Approximately 50,000 Jamaicans working in tourism lost their jobs, and the economy contracted by 5% in 2020 and approximately by 4 more percentage points in 2021. The Jamaican government countered this by immediately increasing expenditure on health and social and economic support, and executed a series of interventions for both rapid and medium-term responses to mitigate the impact of the pandemic. Foremost among these measures were the allocation of resources for the COVID-19 allocation of resources for employees program, the CARE program. It provided assistance in cash transfers to support the most vulnerable of the population. CARE provided approximately Jamaica 25 billion to support economic activity, and it was the largest social intervention in the history of Jamaica. Nearly 500,000 Jamaicans received some assistance, including persons who lost employment during the pandemic, and also inclusive of those who benefited under the program for advancement through health and education, the PATH program. Small businesses in the tourism sector, specific operators were badly affected, students, the elderly, and the fisher folk, infirm, and the homeless. At the same time, though, the education sector was badly affected. The lack of face-to-face teaching has resulted in approximately 2 years worth of loss for many students. It will take Jamaica a while to recover from something like this. Critical age groups, such as early childhood, the critical age group going into high school, badly affected. The government waived items on personal protective fees on personal protective equipment and sanitation supplies. Commercial banks joined the effort by offering customers the option to defer principal payment on mortgages, providing new lines of credit and services to sectors most affected. At the same time, though, luckily, critical sectors such as mining, construction, real estate, and transport were kept afloat due to flexible management of the pandemic protocol. So a total shutdown was avoided. The only time the island really had a lockdown was like on weekends and public holidays. The curfew, the latest curfew time was like from 7 to 5 in the morning. So critical things like construction and healthcare, supermarkets, small retail, they could keep over and keep going. Without that, the suffering would have been much greater. The importation of AstraZeneca, Pfizer, and Moderna vaccines and a robust public health education by the Ministry of Health and Wellness slowly spread of the coronavirus and prevented a greater loss of life and a collapse of the system, and also averted the dreaded total shutdown. This year, 2022, has seen a gradual lifting of COVID-19 restrictions on travel and public interaction, and signs of recovery are now everywhere. Face-to-face classes have resumed at most educational institutions and tourism-related businesses have begun to rebound. Ever-present scourge of violent crime, which considered unabated in the height of the pandemic, is being tackled with energy and vigor by the security forces. The provision of modern crime-fighting equipment and refurbishing of police stations island-wide has greatly increased the capacity of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Defense Force. These factors, allied with innovative social intervention strategies, have greatly shown promising results. Disposal of firearms seized and perpetrators brought to justice. The present overall policy direction of the Jamaican government is to encourage economic recovery in the fastest possible time. Food security, climate change resilience, infrastructure investments, the digital economy and renewable energy, the improvement to access to potable water are linchpins of the government's present recovery thrust. In this regard, Jamaica's relationships with multilateral and bilateral partners, as well as with you, the diaspora, are of greatest importance. Recent geopolitical disruptions, you all have TV, you all have English, you are seeing what's going on, have raised the specter of hardship and economic dislocation at this most delicate time. Despite the best policy measures available, inflation remains a stubborn fact of life. Despite the performance of key sectors at this time give cause for optimism. We don't know what is coming, but as I said above, the key partnerships are important. So without much ado, thanks. I welcome your questions, your interventions at this time. But we are all Jamaicans, we are questioning people. A man must have a question, a woman must have a question.
Let it sleep in a little bit, man. We soon come with some argument. Let's come sleep in.
Oh, now meditate.
Alright, and the evening is young. The evening is young. Thank you, Andrew. So, you see all that we've been doing. Now, since the pandemic started, we have had quite a number of Jamaicans who have faced difficulties in the region. And in the region, I mean in Southern Africa and Eastern Africa, because the Jamaican High Commission in Pretoria has portfolio responsibility for relations with all the countries in SADC, Southern Africa, and all the countries in Eastern Africa. So we've had, and we work through the honorary consuls, and some of you may have already interacted with the honorary consuls and know who they are. I sent out something recently to let you know where the honorary consuls are, and they're very active, and that we are also in the process of appointing more honorary consuls, mainly one in Zimbabwe, one in Zambia, and we have a new candidate. We have two candidates who have put forward their names, one for Mozambique and one for Eswatini. So we're expanding, and it's in line with the government's strategic priorities and principles to engage and to improve relations with Africa and to expand the Jamaican diaspora in Africa. One of the things that in 2018 when the Prime Minister came, he was quite impressed with the number of Jamaicans who were professionals and active in Southern Africa, and I believe some persons had even come from neighboring states. This was, I think, over 100 persons who came out. We didn't know that there were so many Jamaicans in Kenya, but they came forward from Kenya, and I think some came from neighboring state of Somalia as well. And so we are expanding. We have 2 high commissions, 2 overseas missions in Africa. This one in Pretoria, and we have another one in Abuja, where my colleague, High Commissioner Esmond Reed, is also trying to do the same things that we're trying to do in Southern and Eastern Africa. Because the government has given us a mandate to expand relations, expand trade and investment relations. They've also appointed a trade envoy for South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, and Togo. So we're trying to do a lot that we can in terms of expanding our economic diplomacy program. There are lots of Southern African, African nationals, Eastern African nationals who have been visiting Jamaica, and our consular relations have since increased because of the interest that has been generated. As we know, Jamaica is a brand name. Everywhere you go, you hear Jamaica. In Africa, I appreciate the fact that Jamaicans are treated with respect, high respect and high regard in Africa. And it is by no happenstance that so many of you have come to Africa and made it your home and have been contributing. You're 2 of our stellar contributors who have been here for years, along with yourselves, who are contributing and developing the diaspora in Africa. The Prime Minister, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade has made it plain that they want the greater involvement of the diaspora into the Jamaican structure. You are now an integral part of the government's program. We have developed, we're developing a diaspora policy, and that will soon come on stream in terms of in terms of proper announcement. Every year or every 2 years, we normally have biennially, we normally have the Jamaica Diaspora Conference. With no appreciation to COVID, we've had to postpone and put in place some other activities virtually to mark that. Coming up this year in June is another virtual Jamaica Diaspora Conference, and Africa has to take center stage at the conference. I need you, I want you to participate in this conference through your association, through your president and your chairperson and your executive committee. Interfacing with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade in Kingston to ensure that the African diaspora voice is well represented at the conference, in tandem with the global diaspora representative, Mr. David Jarrett, who is appointed for Africa. He resides in Namibia, but I know he interacts and communicates with the diaspora in Africa quite regularly and in terms of informing you. Now, apart from the update for the Jamaica Diaspora Conference in 2022, this year, and this is why we are mainly here, apart from the fact that we needed to meet, we have not been able to meet regularly as we should because of the pandemic. But thank God it has eased a bit, and we have now been given the opportunity to meet. And it is to discuss and to work out and to look at the different proposals. And I know a lot of you have proposals. I know the association has proposals. You may have individual proposals of your own that you need to bring to the association. I know Mr. Sean Harris has some proposals that he would want to bring to the table to you today through the association. And but from the perspective of the Jamaican High Commission in Pretoria, one integral thing that we have to do, and the COVID pandemic has taught us this in Southern and Eastern Africa, and it is this: we are well in need of a welfare fund to assist our distressed nationals. We've had quite a bit of distressed nationals that we've had to deal with to assist the return home however best we can. Some of them, including some of our elder Rastafarian community from the Nabingi tribe, were caught up in the COVID, and we had to find ways and means to assist them so that they would be better able to settle and to withstand the winter in 2020. Right, Rasta Bilani? So we appreciate that, and we know from a fact that governments can't provide everything. And this is why it is difficult sometimes that we don't have quite a budget for welfare and to assist our nationals the way we should. We reach out to them. But for the Diamond Jubilee, one of the hallmark activities that I want to pursue and that the High Commission wants to develop is the establishment of a welfare fund, and it begins today. Or we're going to have some planned activities so that we can generate funds. So unfortunately, if unfortunately one of our members is in need, then they can reach out to the High Commission to say, can you assist? Right now we have two difficult challenges in terms of welfare for 2 Jamaicans in Kenya, and I think there was one in Botswana. We need to help them. So that's why we're trying to develop, and we need the commitment of the diaspora to help us to do this. When we look at the other diaspora associations across the globe, in the US, in the United States of America, in the UK, and Canada, they have such vibrant, active associations, and they have funding because they reach out, and I mean they're a lot more advanced than the diaspora in Africa. But we want to develop our own African diaspora name and reach out. And some of you have done that, and you've done that so tremendously at a time when the country needed your help. Because when the pandemic hit us, Jamaica was in a bad situation financially, and we needed assistance in terms of additional funding to purchase protective gears and so forth. And I reached out to the diaspora right across Southern and Eastern Africa, and you were able to provide contributions almost to the tune of $4,000, which was instrumental. It was tremendous coming from the diaspora in the region. And thank you, and the government was well appreciative of that. So I say this because Mr. Francis mentioned the difficulties that COVID has created in various sectors in Jamaica, including the education sector. We would love to be a part of the program to help provide tablets for some students. So many students have been displaced internationally, but Jamaica has also been affected in terms of the learning process for some of our students over the past 2 years of the pandemic. So we want to, if we were to say develop a welfare fund, we could also assist a school with some tablets for some much needed children in the rural areas. I think there's a lot of focus in the urban areas in Kingston and St. Catherine and so forth. So we'd want to focus on that. So if we develop that, then we become as strong a diaspora as in North America and Europe and the UK. That's what we want to do. And I thank all the association members and diaspora community members over the years who have been instrumental. From the mission was established in 2007, there have been instrumental persons doing good work to establish the association, to reach out to Jamaica, to develop activities, and to continue to put Jamaica on the proud map in Southern and Eastern Africa. You have all been tremendous, and your work has not gone unnoticed. So one of the things that the High Commission is going to be doing is paying tribute to some of you who have helped and who have contributed to the development and the good work that has been done in the region by working with the High Commission over the years. As part of the 60th anniversary celebration, which is the Diamond Jubilee, as I mentioned, and what I should say is that in tandem with that is also the 60th anniversary of the establishment of the Foreign Ministry, which is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. So we have two celebrations going together. We want you to all bring out your best gear. We're going to be having a grand independence reception or gala, whatever we're going to agree on, for August 6th. But before that, we want to have an independent ecumenical church service. And my understanding is that Johannesburg would be a central point for it. So if some of you through the association can identify a church where we can have kick off the main activities with a church service in Johannesburg, usually a few days or the week before August 6th. That's when Kingston normally have it. So we could, we could have that. We also, I'm going to give the floor to the association to tell you of the other activities that they have planned. But from the perspective of the High Commission, and as I said, everything is structured around the fact that we need an effective welfare fund. So we're going to be having a massive fair, a trade fair, a cultural fair, with music, dance, cultural items, anything Jamaican, and we want to bring out the entire South Africa to that fair. So we're going to be planning that in consultation with the association and with yourselves. So it will be a fantastic fair, and it will promote Jamaica, tourism. And I can tell you this, as much as Southern Africa and Eastern Africa are so far from Jamaica, our consular agents will tell you, we have constantly requests for visas. Persons have been going to Jamaica for their vacations, for their weddings. Just last year, I think before the COVID hit, the phase 4, phase 4 of the COVID, we had like, Mrs. Momberg, about 3 or 4 weddings, big weddings. People going from Zimbabwe and so forth to get married in Jamaica. They appreciate it, and they come back and they're spreading the good word. So we will also focus on tourism at that fair. As I said, and of course you will end up getting all your Jamaican goodies. Mrs. Trail will tell you coconut drops, grater cakes, puddings, cornmeal, and so forth, rum punch, dominoes, everything will be there. In fact, I have personally prepared rum punch for you all today. So we have that. And then now, there's also the proposal for what you call, for us to have a Jamaican barbecue or a jerk or brine, as they say in South Africa. So we will have that. I think maybe we'll probably have that maybe here, because we have beautiful grounds, right? Don't you think our gardener did a good job? Yes. Thank you. So we will have maybe something personal among the community and ourselves with that. So I want you to keep your schedules open during the Independence Week or the 2 weeks on either side of Independence. Please keep it open because we have lots of activities planned for you to commemorate the Diamond Jubilee. We're going to be interfacing next week. The High Commission will have a virtual meeting with all the honorary consuls across the diaspora in Southern and Eastern Africa. And some of you will remember the fantastic reggae showcase that we had last year. And if you thought that was good, you're going to have an even better one for Jamaica 16. So we have Don Dada and Ras Jabalani. We're going to have everybody on board for that one, okay? Then we will have follow-up meetings leading up to August. So in June, we will catch again, and we want to meet with you again before August, so that we can again clarify or fine-tune some of our activities. What we want to do too, because we have excellent relations with South Africa, and one of the things that the High Commission wants to do in the 60th year is to reach out to 2 education institutions in South Africa. My staff tells me it's best to do high schools, and to do high schools with diverse students. Don't just want to see one set of persons. You know, we want a school that is heavily representative of the multiracial, multicultural South Africa. And one of the things we want to do, given Jamaica's expertise and prowess in athletics, is to focus on a visit to 2 schools that have good athletic programs, so that we kind of come into a kind of twinning, and then we find like a Jamaican school to link them with, like a twinning. Like for instance, maybe you can say, if I can make up a school say Waterkloof High School, twinning with Homewood Technical in Jamaica. Because you know Homewood is very good with athletics. So we're working towards that fantastic thing so that we can not only promote Jamaica in terms of its greatness in athletics. And I'll tell you something, this is the official residence of the Jamaican High Commissioner in South Africa. And when you come in, you would have seen the Jamaican flag, correct? Very often, I wouldn't say every week, but you have persons stopping there. Ah, Jamaica, and they're taking photographs. Yeah, Jamaica, I said, how are you? Usain Bolt. You know, and they said, sorry, can we take some pictures? We remember Usain Bolt. We remember Bob Marley. So this is how important it is for us to have excellent representation and present Jamaica in the beautiful and unified way that we are, coming from Bob Marley, One Love. There's no other song that resonates across the globe like One Love. Bob Marley's One Love. Okay? So that is what we peace. Right now, with the situation with war in the global, Jamaica is calling for one love. So that will solve a lot. And then now we will have, we are updating the High Commission's website. So we will have a pictorial, like a presentation of activities and the work of the High Commission coming from its establishment in 2007, coming forward. It will involve some of you, I'm sure we'll be able to find photographs to show the excellent work. And of course we will, if some of you have photographs from the years back, please contact Andrew and Kevin and let them have them so that we can put them online on our website to showcase and make sure everyone is represented, right? So with that, we're just touching base on just those few items, but I leave it in your hearts and in your minds that one of the most important things we have to do, as I said, is to establish a welfare fund here. And we are guided by the government of Jamaica's financial regulations and in terms of anti-corruption agreements and so forth. So do not feel any strangeness towards the establishment of a fund. It will be linked to the High Commission, through the High Commission, and Mr. Kevin Lindo, the accountant, office manager, finance attaché will mobilize and will work that, and we will send out regular or annual audit in terms of what is being done with the fund. But we must, I'm emphasizing it over and over, because we must have a fund to assist our nationals. We can't always leave it to the honorary consuls. The honorary consuls, like I know the one in Namibia, but it's very hard when our nationals come down and they need assistance. The honorary consuls are always the ones who are going into their pockets to assist, because as I said, budgets are limited and so forth. So I want to thank you, and I'm going to ask you to continue to be active. Reach out to me. I have my WhatsApp number. Some of you, please leave your WhatsApp numbers with me. I stand on no ceremonies in communicating with anybody. Right? If you need to reach out to me, please. It is always important, especially in challenging times. So with that now, I thank you for listening to me. I'm going to ask the chairman of the association, interim chairman, I should say, Mr. Rash Jabalani, to take the floor. But before doing that, I think some of us may need some refreshments. So let us have some refreshments and then Rash Jabalani. Okay? Thank you so much. We have some sandwiches available. We have tea and coffee.
We're next door to the Indian High Commission. I've had
Some of them are new.
Yeah, let me get that. Okay. Let me get it.
Of course, we need to have an active treasury because we need to be doing some serious work towards the fundraising for various events and to get support so that the High Commission Welfare Fund can see fruition. Right? And therefore, we will be looking at ones who, at this point, feel that they may be able to take up a position either on the executive or within the working committee. Now, the greater task that we have at hand for this year is the Diamond Jubilee. Now, we've got various proposals that we are still looking into and seeing how we can incorporate to make one big proposal. The main thing we're looking at is maybe a 3-day event, right, which will be from the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Now, again, like we'd like to have that blessing, the ecumenical gathering of the churches and the heretical spiritual ones that can come together and give that strength and blessing. As Her Excellency has been saying, usually it would be, we don't say weak, but strong before that. Right? So, and then we can create a program of workshopping and so forth during that strong leading to the 5th, 6th, and the 7th. The 6th, basically on the 5th, we would like to actually look at having a venue where we will be able to set up so that there is trading going on. So we're creating like a mini trade fair between brands of products from Jamaica and the CARICOM countries within the Caribbean and African brand products, so that we can see ways of creating partnerships for trading and to even start to reproduce certain products here, because there is certain difficulties that ones have been facing when it comes to the importing of goods directly from the Caribbean, from Jamaica into the country. Now if there's ways that we can now reproduce, because we have also enough land and the environment to grow certain things that we can be producing here, like even the moringa tea and so forth. It may not be exactly the same, so it would be the African Jamaican or African Caribbean product. But we can rebrand it and have it here and broaden our markets for products so that we can be uplifting the economies of both countries where we are producing within. These are the long-term plans for that, but by staging the trade fair within the actual festival itself, it shows where we want to really take ourselves for the future. So that we will be looking at opening that on the Friday. Now, reggae music has been the brand product that has the world, right? And here in South Africa, we have X amount of selectors and sound system and so forth, right? So in the later evening part, we would like to start a sound clash, right? With some of the sound man them and the selectors and the sing J artists them and so forth, and sound system. The Saturday we still want, the Saturday, the actual 6th, where we want to say outer dependency celebration, right? Because interdependence keep us still in that. So we want 60 years, we want to get outer dependence, right? So,
That's very easy.
so there will be a banquet where yes, all the dignitaries and the diplomats and so forth can wine and dine and so forth, you know. But you see, Saturday again, we'd like to have an all-day music festival with live band artists and so forth, because we have X amount of reggae artists here, right, that would like to take part, and we know that there are certain ones that would like to come from Jamaica to be part of this. There are certain veteran artists that would like to come forward, and certain of the younger artists them also. So we're still finalizing on those and the modalities of bringing them forward. There has been also a request, because again the elder advisor and innovator within the Rastafari community here on the continent, because I'm also part of the Rastafari Continental Council. And here in South Africa we have, right now, within 5 of the provinces, they would like the youths have a football teams. They would like to have a tournament with, if we can bring a team from Jamaica. If it's not possible for us to bring that team from Jamaica, we will be looking within to see how we can create a team of those of your children, right, and friends.
And yourselves.
And yourselves, those who still feel fit enough, right? And the 5 provinces have gone, they've actually gone as far as, because you see they are within, some of them are within the universities, and the universities in the 5 provinces have actually offered to give us their venues for us to, because they would welcome this team to come to each of the provinces. They will also accommodate them at the university, and they are looking into seeing how they can help to fund the whole program through the universities. Right? So, you know, the youths are very much enthusiastic and ready to get involved. Also, not to be sexist and thing, but we're looking at netball team also, right? Now we know female soccer is really taking on very strong, so we don't really have no bias there. So, you know, if the funding is there, and like we said, there are ones and ones ready to support this. Jamaica has created a great influence really amongst the youth, from liberation to even now. And a lot of the Jamaican culture has actually taken us some chance to come in this, you know, this, you come in like, upstage, the King's House, yeah. But still, now we give thanks for all the High Commission, when we talk the executive that is there, that is around her to give back, because right now she has taken on a even greater task than when the High Commission started in 2007. Right? And we've advanced, some may say slowly, but we can see it has advanced surely. Right? And the little upsets and things that have been going on, especially within the last 2 years, we give thanks that, Most High really keep us strong and we are here today. Right? And I give thanks to each and everyone that has made it to come forward, because it's been a while since some of us have touched base with one-on-ones, and I see some new faces that we never really see before, and we're in a position now that we want to advance the actual the Jamaican diaspora organization now of the Southern and Eastern Africa. It's newly, what we'll say, reform itself from the association that was formed to support and work with the hand and glove with the High Commission. More to work on the ground and keep the community active, look at what is needed amongst the community, like Ambassador has seen some of the problems that even our elders have been faced with, and looking at ways now to form this welfare foundation. With that's going to give the organization a greater task. Hence, we have also, the organization is a registered organization. We have got our constitution. We're now sending forward the application forms for ones who would like to become active members within the association, within the organization in itself. What we intend to do is work closely with the honorary consuls in each of the countries that are based, and we're looking at asking them to identify a country representative that will be directly linked with the organization itself, and then form an executive in each of the countries so that we can always be in constant communication. What we also intend to do, even at this venture, as we're saying, I'm the interim chairman right now. With a certain reasoning, I'm not really the right person to be chair, because I'm a nomad by my ancestry, so I'm always on the road. I'm actually a griot from my ancestry, so I'm always on the road. And sometimes it's not easy to communicate with I unless you're using telepathy. So, Sister Wamba will be now the chairperson, and I will get to be the deputy. So, like we said, we are still looking at all proposals, seeing how we can combine these proposals, looking at the best way that we can make everyone have a part within this Diamond Jubilee celebration. So that's the main task for this year for the organization. And like we said, I'd rather give our honorable chairperson the standard. She can give you a little bit more from what we've been said. So for these 2 words, I give thanks.
Come if we talk about down, down in Jamaica where Gabby come from. Tell your friends, say, we talk about down, down in Jamaica where Gabby come from. Yeah, why them take him away? They took him away from I and I, just because they thought more or less that we would be too wise. Wisdom is power. For what was in the from the wise and prudent shall reveal.
To do a launching of my journey, Akiwani journey, a Jamaican reality. I'm able to publish this autobiography in 2019. Yeah, I'm able to publish my autobiography, and my autobiography basically based on my journey as a Jamaican, and to put it to the next level as an African. And I grew up in a community in Kingston 11. I grew up on an avenue that them call Booble Drive. That is in Cockburn, Penn. But when we start to stush it out, we just say Coburn Garden. Yeah? Out of that comes my family, that is 13 people, including my mom and my dad. And I was able to document 5 generations in this autobiography, which I'm happy about. The main reason for me to be writing this information, because too much of us with valuable information have go around the circle that we all go, and we end up in the graveyard without information for the generation and the generation and the generation that coming after us. Yeah? I wrote this book to inspire my fellow man. Yeah? I happen to have skill in various areas. I'm a fine artist, so I designed the cover of this book. I'm a fine artist. I'm a swim coach. I'm a basketball coach. I do competitive swimming, and I do competitive basketball. Not at no little joke level, you know. Real thing. Yeah, real thing, not joker level. And what I really feel happy about, that my children were able to represent Jamaica in water polo and competitive swimming. My 2 boys. One of my sons able to go to 1 world championship playing water polo for Jamaica out of high school. And I'm happy to document all of that in here. So now, here's a little sweet part now. I call a little youth them when I write my book, that are my children them. I say, here what now? I can go in a little section of the book here, you know. But it's still up to you now. I can't tell you what to do. But what I would like, if you wanted to express growing up with dad and how you see dad, them say, well, you talk about that, me going in the book too. And they send me their script. And I didn't do any cut down of the script or any editing or whatever. I put in their script. So my sons and daughter have a chapter in this book. The other thing I'm happy for, I've done the book through self-publishing, Author House. And they got a powerful platform for marketing their product, which I'm happy about. there is certain thing about the whole thing I'm not happy about, but I like to focus on the positive. Because that is why I'm here and that is why the book is able to publish. And it is on about 45, 50 platforms and online. So it's easy to find online. Yeah? It's selling through all the Amazon, Waterstone, Walmart, Barnes and Noble. But we're going to leave out a part a little bit. I'm going to tell you a little about the book now and certain connection that I basically, during a little youth at Jamaica, and I wanted to turn, with I say, ton jacket. Yeah, I want to become an ass, to ride ass and all of them things there. So when me get, I get kicked out of school as well, I get kicked out of school when I was 14 plus. So I say, right, me used to go at the betting shop as a little youth and Screechy go in and buy me 2 little race and thing. But them things we used to buy, the race that we used to buy, I asked we are running in England. English race. And during that time, when I get kicked out of school, I say, you know what? I like the jacketing and I like the ass racing thing, So you know what? I go down to Caymanas and make some link. And we have a little link there and thing. And somebody pull me in and say, you can't come out with stable, man. What here what they want do? After when we go a stable for ton Jackie, is one thing we know turn in our language, is calm in. So anything else you want turn that never work. Yeah, thank you very much. So I didn't stay long in that field. I was kicked out. I was kicked out by an ass, and I can't tell you how it worked. I'm glad still, cause after that, no, it's a laugh still, but I'm glad, cause after that, no, I didn't turn artist, I become a professional artist. You don't know, yeah? There is 54 pages that is on Google Read that you all can just go up online and just get involved. Yeah, and read an introductory to this 274 pages. Yeah, feel free, support it as well. So do your introductory reading, and if you don't want to buy the book from Amazon, if you don't want to buy the book from none of them outlets we have it online, because more time I close we hang online, So if you don't want to buy it from them, we're going to leave a contact to get it straight from the author, actually. Yeah? Let me read one little part before we run off of the stage. This book allows me to revise some inspiring moments in my existence. I have been blessed to have met some interested human beings over my journey. I celebrate this fact that I have been able to display my merchandise. I don't even tell you about that part there, but it is in the book. My merchandise and my artwork. At 5 Summer Olympic, 5 Summer Olympic and 1 Winter Olympic game. That was in Salt Lake City. 1 Football World Cup involving the Jamaica Reggae Boys. When Jamaica did go to the World Cup, of France, me did the right in the middle of the belly of the thing, I have exhibited my artwork in many parts of the world alongside the Trafalgar Member. The Trafalgar Member is an art group that I found in Jamaica, and it turned out some brilliant artists. Them they all over going good now. Above all, this book honors the importance of family value, self-determination alongside each other, for should you fall, others is there to pick you up. But when you rise together. And this is why the book is here, and we give thanks. Akiwali Journey. Me have 4 copies with me. You can get the 4 of them if you don't want to talk to me. Me have 4, just 4. 4. I love you. I love you. You hear what she said? They're going to present one to her. And we can't resist it. Me have to go do it. So.
Well, I'm officially. Officially?
I'm
No,
sorry.
you're supposed to be handing it to me.
I present this my autobiography to the Jamaican High Commission Upper Africa in Cape Town, Tanzania,
Pretoria.
Victoria.
Thank you so much. This will be recorded and kept in the library in the Jamaican High Commission in South Africa, in Pretoria. And of course, every person who comes to the mission will be able to look at it and to enjoy its contents. Well read, well researched, well written. Thank you so much, Akiwale.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Down in Jamaica, where we come from. Come on, people, come and we talk about down. Diddy down, gonna come on down. Down in Jamaica, where we come from. One of Earth's greatest prophets was born down in Plymouth, St. Andrews. Guess what? And he was going about prophesying equal rights and justice to the nation. Everybody! And because of all that, they took him away and told us that he is dead.
Mr. Akiwale is putting
I've never
everything
seen that.
in the book. I've never seen such an. It's the best autograph I've ever
Exactly.
seen.
Pleasure.
From the pen.
You want to open
Perfect.
Yeah.
the signature?
That's good.
You're so
Yeah,
much.
thank you so much.
You're so
Yeah,
much.
thank you so much.
He was going about prophesying equal rights and justice to the nations, I know. And because of all that, hey, they took him away and told us that he is dead. But the man not dead at all. But Rasta we not at all. Because I know the conquering land of Judah live. Come and we talk about down, diddy down, diddy down, down in Jamaica where Gabby come from. Tell your friends, say, we talk about down, diddy down, diddy down, down in Jamaica where Gabby come from. Yeah, why them take him away? They took him away from I and I, just because they thought more or less that we would be too wise. Wisdom is power. For what was hidden from the wise and prudent shall reveal to the babe accepting in and this time. Let the children learn, let the children grow.